So, welcome to another update from me as the chairman. Slightly later in the week, a lot going on, but that's a good thing. Um, so, one of the things we're making sure everything went out. We've got voting underway for not only our April awards, so Player and Goal of the Month, but also our annual awards. So, we've got Player of the Season, Goal of the Season, and then Away Day of the Year. And that's not where we had the most fun at. Um, it's more looking at which club was the sort of most welcoming, a really, really good environment for everyone that went, and just a chance to say thank you. Because we went and played, what's just above the league games, I think 14, 15 different clubs that we went and played at this season. I think it'd be 14 in total because one, we went back to Alresford and then we had one cup game away, I believe. So, off the top of my head, I think we're looking at 14 away days on the season. But just what was nice is because it's sometimes clubs just think about themselves and it's nice to reflect and sort of say, actually, where was really good and where did we enjoy going. So, you've got until the end of Friday, midnight Friday, to vote. So jump on the link. It was in the owner's email that went out Tuesday morning. If you're on there, if you're on Slack, post it on Slack. So it's there, the owner's only forum to go in there, look at and vote. So please make sure you do that. If you need a refresh on the goals, taking the winner of goal of the month each month. So that is on our socials. Went out on Tuesday morning. There is some cracking goals in there. Some really good fun memories too. So that's what's going on. One thing I wanted to touch on just football, and I tend to try and steer away from football on this show, but leave that more to the guys with View from the Pen and everything they do there. But one thing I wanted to look at is just where we finished, because the league's got another sort of week and a half before every game is played, but we can't move up or down now in the season, and we are dead middle of the table. There's seven above us, seven below us. We are perfectly in the middle, and that is a cracking first season, finishing eighth. Especially when you look back on what we went through at the start of the season with the first six, and I think everyone from the board and committee to the managers to the players, is this right? And I always felt like it'd be okay. I'm usually the one in the middle of the road. I was actually quite positive. The first few games, I was like, no, let's finish in that sort of 8 to 10 spot. And just push forward, and it will come. It's just going to take time, but we got there, and so I just kind of looked to split the league season into two. So first 14 games for every team, last 14 games for every team. And if we take the first half of the season, we're tied 12th out of 15 teams with 10 points in 14 games, which is grim. I always say, rule of thumb, if you're getting 1 point a game, you should just be able to stay up in most leagues. If you're getting 2 points a game, you are competing at the top. So less than 1 point a game, it needed improvement. But that certainly came. Said, hey, if we got 10 points, we need to at least be looking at adding 5 to 10 more. And we certainly did that. So in the second half of the season, we're currently fourth at the moment. So 26 points out of 14 games. There's a chance someone catches us, but they've got a tough run in. So you never know. We'll see later in the year whether they did. But it's one that you're talking 26 points, from 10 points in 14 games to 26. That is a fantastic step forward. And if you look in those first half of the season, 10 losses out of 14. Whereas we look in the second half of the season, two. That in itself is brilliant, moving in the right direction. There's always going to be things. Um, Chat to Covo Senior after the game, he's always going to say, "Oh, we could have done this a little bit more. We could have done that," and that's just a great positive attitude where the players are thinking, "Oh, we could do even more here," and that's where we want to be. But a massive, massive thank you for the management, the coaching staff, the players for everything they do. Um, it has really, really gone on, and lots of players individually. You can look at a player like Bailey Morris. Um, First half of the season, he was used kind of experimenting and played some games. But then that second half of the season, he's become a different player, and it's one of the benefit of having some younger players. If you get some older players, they'll instantly give you a decent level of performance, but there's not going to be place for a 30-year-old to drastically become better. Whereas a player that's much younger is going to improve. and really, really, really good to see. So we're in a great spot, and it's been really nice chatting to the players. I mean, like, hey, why did you come here? What's kind of the vibe? What's the way people view the club? And it is always so positive the way it's reflected that's really key. And when we set up, it was we knew we weren't going, hey, we're going to be in the National League South, we're going to be this, we're going to be that. It was one, but we said from the start, it was like, we cannot operate from a mindset, how we treat people and what we want to do as, oh, well, we're just a small club and we're that. And it's like, no, we will act. And there's things we can't do yet. I would love to be throwing around like 100 grand in wages, like some clubs 2, 3 leagues higher than us are. But that was never going to be realistic. But in terms of the small things, just the way we treat people, the way we set expectations, we said from the start it was going to be like a much better club, because you build it and they will come and they will also feed into that. And it was a good core of players because then each time people have got added, it's not caused disruption. They've come in, everyone's taken that little step forward every time, and the distance we've gone over the season is just really, really positive. And the players are all buzzing to come back. And that's one that you thought, hey, are people going to have good seasons and they're going to go forward? And the fact that some people have come down from a slightly higher level and said, no, I actually prefer it here. Yeah, I could get a couple of quid, but actually, my enjoyment over the whole time and what we're going to do here and the club's going to go forward is what they want to be a part of. So really, really excited for where the club's going. Um, Please make sure you vote. And also, 3rd of May, make sure you buy your tickets. I think there's about 10, 15 left. So jump online. It's only £5 a ticket, on the Saturday evening. So jump onto our online store, etcfc.square.site. That's the online link, but by all means, reach out to Claire either, club email, get those sorted. Had a meeting with Jason down the club. When was that? Yesterday, so on Wednesday. Um, and we were just meeting with league to talk about getting our reserve team set up. So that's all progressing nicely. We'll find out what level they get set up at. But that's one that they're going to go straight into men's football. It's not one that we're finding some separate reserve league. They'll be playing competitive football. So really excited to get that going. There'll be more information coming out, and I'm sure they'll be looking for players, everything there. So hold off on sending stuff into the inbox just yet. We will put it all over our social media when it's time to apply, and we'll get that. And that's one that allows a route for players to step up. So if players can play well in that, they can go, actually, yeah, let's bring that player up. It's one that when someone's injured and recovering, they can get maybe a game. They just need to get back to full fitness. There are options there. There was times this season where it was frustrating for players, and great, they wanted to all be out there. It wasn't one where they're just along for the ride. And if it's one going, hey, this week we can't get you in it because the squad's loaded. Do you want to just go and play that game? Keeps everyone in better shape, ready for when they're needed. So lots of wins there, and the more people we can bring into the club, get involved, stuck in, is better for everyone that's a part of it. So there's a curry tonight. There might be a few more spaces. So if you're listening to this and you fancy a curry at Monty's, they're doing 50% off food at the moment. So ping an email to the club. We can try see if we can get an extra seat in there, but we've got over 20 people going. So yeah, looking to do stuff there. But no, that's the majority wrapped. When we meet yesterday, we're kicking off, and Jason and Jono, Jason leading, but Jono supporting as well. Lots of stuff's just around the development of the club because we've got a 2-year vision to make sure we can get promoted up into the league, and it's the biggest jump in football. People talk about going from the Championship to the Premiership in terms of facilities. That's not that drastic. There's some stuff, but it's not wild. Whereas we are in the top tier of park football, and we are trying to make the step up to stadium football. There is 10 leagues of stadium football in the UK. We're trying to make that jump. So it's one that we'll be putting out and getting people involved as we sort of hear more and get more pieces together. But we're really, really keen that if everything can go perfectly, can we do it a little bit earlier? We don't know that answer yet, but people are hard at work. And if you've got anything you can help out, when we start asking for help, we really, really need people to go, yeah, I can help out. I can do a bit of this. I can do a bit of that. I've got a contact that might be able to help out, because lots of the things that have happened is just by word of mouth. So we had someone reach out and say, hey, my work's giving these away, are useful to you guys. We're like, yeah, that would be great. This allows us to do that. Someone else said, hey, I know a football club that's giving this away. Do you want that? Is that any use to you? Great, that's been fantastic. So it's it's a bit of luck, but as they always say, you make your own luck. We've got 267 owners. If they're constantly going around talking about the football club, talking about everything there, that spreads the word that gets us over the line. So please, please, please keep talking to people about the club, whether they become owners, whether they become fans, whether you just get them to come to a curry and they're like, this is great, I really enjoy it. No VAR, we're not sat there waiting for 5 minutes like they were last night on TV. We're actually having fun, and it's one that it's not this divide between players, fans, management. If you want to know, well, why did so and so get subbed off? Just walk up to the managers after the game and go, oh, well, what about that? And they'll happily answer. They'll talk to you, and that is a different world of football that is so much more fun. Um, and it is genuinely so much more enjoyable. I had a season ticket, watched my team win Champions League final in Munich, Torres goal in the Nou Camp. So I've seen the very best football has to offer at the top level, but it's much more fun at this level. You can be around football and you can stand there and you can get engaged. And I remember back when we were in the National League South, just sat on an away coach asking the assistant manager, well, why do you take short corners? And then getting that discussion of what do they see from it and why do they think it benefits them. You would never get that. Hey, Jose, why do you do this? He'd probably laugh at me. But love that man. But it's a different world between the Premier League and non-league. And it's one of really come down and enjoy it if you've not. For everyone that supported the project, thank you so much. We are just getting started here. So as always, up the rocks.